Now from the Fan Studios in Melbourne, it's the Mark Moses Show on Sports Radio 1560 The Fan. You can be a part of the conversation at 321-984-1234. Now here's your host, Mark Moses.
Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome indeed to a Friday edition of the Mark Moses Show, only right here on 1560 The Fan. I am very excited to say this to start the show. The University of Central Florida, or if you're a cool kid, UCF, is going to the Big 12. No, seriously, that's not a joke. It's not a rumor. It's not a myth. UCF is going to the Big 12. They announced this morning on all their social media platforms. I got the official email. It's on the website. UCF to the Big 12. It is them, Cincinnati, Houston, and BYU. The earliest they can join the conference is 2023, probably, at this hour. For a program where in the mid-90s started in Division I football, and now in 2021, they got the invite. They're going to accept it. UCF Athletics. So all of it, not just football, basketball, softball, baseball, volleyball. You can go on and on and on. Track and field is going to the Big 12. A program that, I'm sorry I have to say this, it's a directional school. It's not Florida. It's not Florida State. It's Central Florida is going to be big boy athletics, and especially football and basketball is going big time. They released a statement, UCF, saying around, I'd say 3:45, 3:50 or so today. They're going to have an official press conference. I know in about 10 minutes or so, pretty much all the people that really make the decisions at UCF are going to vote on this. They're going to vote yes, and UCF's going to the next level. It is awesome. Awesome day if you are an alumni of the school. And I put this on Twitter, and you can follow me on there at Mark Moses Show. I'm very proud of that school. I have covered the team since 2013 when I started this show here in beautiful Central Florida. And the growth of the program over, I'd say, the last 5 years or so, it's been incredible. And if you're a Knights fan, and I know there's plenty of you here in Brevard County, you got to be excited because you're going to the next level. And for years and years and years, you know, you'll have a Gator fan or a Miami fan or a Seminole fan come at you saying, oh, well, you're not in a real conference. You're in the, what is it now called? The American. Well, that's not real big boy football. You're going to big boy football now. UCF to the Big 12. It's not a rumor. It's not a myth. It's not a fantasy. It's not a dream. It's a reality. This is going to happen. We're going to have a press conference later this hour. They're going to announce it, and it's time to rock and roll. And I said this on Tuesday, coming back from Labor Day weekend, when we knew it's like, all right, this is probably going to happen on Friday. And I'll just say it if you didn't hear me say it back on Tuesday. You got to give credit to those student athletes, those football players, everything they went through over the last couple of years where you lose George O'Leary, you go 0-12. Then they get Scott Frost, they go 6-7. Then they go 13-0. Then they lose Scott Frost. Josh Heupel comes in. They have another undefeated regular season. They lose Mackenzie Milton. Then, you know, they go with the young quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. They just kept winning games. Then they lose after saying they're the national champions. And, you know, you have all these things where the athletic director is trying to make sure people nationally understand who UCF is. And you got to give credit, seriously, to Mr. Danny White for doing that. And then he leaves for Tennessee. Then he brings Josh Heupel with him. So then they got to get another coach, and they got to get another athletic director. It's incredible what they did. And when I say we, I mean those student athletes, football players. ADs left, coaches left. The players kept playing competitive football. Saying you're the national champions, Winning games helps the program. And now they're going to the next level. And look, last Thursday, a week ago, UCF played a great game on national television against Boise State. They were down 21-0. They came back. They won the game. But I started thinking Friday and Saturday, the game didn't matter. It doesn't matter towards actual college football. They play college football, but they don't play big boy football. And that game they won against Boise State has nothing to do with the college football playoff. It had no implications on the playoff. And I went to a game where it was like Northwestern and Michigan State, and I'm watching just ugly, awful Big Ten football. And I kept thinking, like, UCF would beat both these teams handily. Just hammer both those teams. But it didn't matter. Michigan State, Northwestern playing a football game mattered more towards the playoff than anything UCF has done. So what I'm trying to say is, give credit to UCF. All those games they won over the year finally opened the door where a Power 5 conference said, you know what? All right, you're ready. That's what makes it such a cool story. From where they were, when you think of this journey over 5 years, 0-12, now going to be in the Power 5. It's pretty awesome. With 3 different coaches, you're going to have 2 different athletic directors. Quarterback blew out his leg. It's amazing. Amazing. And they're going to go. I'm really proud. I'm really proud to live in this area and, go to those games and get to know the coaches and the players and the people behind the scenes and, living in this area where it's a gigantic alumni base that is young. It's not like, oh, well, my grandpa went to University of Florida, then my dad and my sister, and then I went. And, I see that when you talk to the Gator Alumni Club. UCF's like, oh, yeah, I went. How about your dad? No, I just went. And hopefully my kids go. It's a young fan base. And they're going to play Power 5 football moving forward. And, and on top of that, it's one of the best basketball conferences as well. It's loaded. I mean, you're going to see Kansas Jayhawk basketball, Oklahoma, West Virginia, like all these great teams. Iowa State's always in the top 25. It's going to be exciting, man. It's like if you are on the fence, like, hey, should I go to a game? There's going to be some exciting games. There is. Now, something we've talked about this whole week, it's like there's going to be a transition. There is. Because before, like in football, okay, you're getting, some of the best 3-star athletes. Well, you might take on schools where, yeah, everyone's a 3-star, but they might have 4-star athletes or maybe even a 5-star with some of these teams you're going to play in football. You're going to have to get bigger, stronger, and faster if you're going to be in the Big 12. And some of these other teams, like you look at, like a West Virginia, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, some of these schools, Baylor, TCU, they might have more depth than you as well. And you might have to get especially bigger on O-line and D-line if you're going to compete at that level. So that's why I'm like, you got to be a little hesitant here where it's like, there's going to be some growing pains if you're going to go to that next level. But hey, I mean, it's like Rutgers going to the Big Ten. It's like when I was in Omaha where it's like Creighton basketball was in the Missouri Valley. Now they jumped ship. They're in the Big East. Like it's awesome. This is an exciting day. And you look at the landscape of the state of Florida where, and I saw this earlier today on Twitter, where it's like, you think about it. It's like northern Florida is like, it's like all this is Florida State country. And then kind of north central Florida, it's Gator country, all of it. And if you go to South Florida, it's the U, Miami Hurricanes. It's right there. And in the middle, where we're at, it's like, well, we got Gator fans, we have Florida State, we got Miami fans, and that's going to continue. You're going to play big boy Power 5 football in your backyard. You don't need to go 3 hours to Gainesville or 5 hours to Tallahassee or 3 hours south to Miami. Right in your backyard. That's why it's exciting. I want to be a season ticket holder. I think it's going to be awesome. And to the haters out there, the haters who are like, oh, well, they won't be able to compete against some of these teams. Hey, guess what? There's teams like Iowa State, West Virginia. I can keep going if you want. They haven't won the Big 12 championship either in football. So, yeah. And you got to, if you're going even a step further than this, well, you got to thank Texas and Oklahoma. No, really. You got to thank them. You really got to thank them because them jumping ship to the SEC made a domino effect, which opened the door for you to go to the Big 12. There you go, man. It's really cool. I'm just shaking my head. It's really going to happen. UCF, Power 5 football. Now, do I know the future of what the playoffs going to look like? No, because no one does. People think they have an idea, like, oh, we're going to 16. Maybe we go to 12. No one has any idea. I don't think the commissioners know what they want. And yes, we did in August have a press conference where the Pac-12, the Big Ten, the ACC said, we're going to be in it together. Gentlemen's shake. Even though we didn't sign any contracts, we're going to be in this together, and we're going to take on the SEC. And they did, on purpose, not include the Big 12. But, well, the current contract says it's Power 5 to go to the playoffs. So they're going to the Power 5. It's awesome. So you don't have to say, group of 6 or, hey, we're the national champions, even though we're not. Like, it's over. It's over. Win or lose, you crossed the finish line. You did it. After everything you accomplished over the past couple of years, you did it. You're going to the Power 5. I can't believe it's real. I really can't. It's such a cool story. We're going to try to play some of that press conference, but as you know in media, anytime a press conference says a certain time, tack on about 10 minutes after that, and then the presser will start. So probably 4 o'clock today, you'll probably get it after a while. Now, real quick, if we go to last night, I'm very tired. I was up till about 1 a.m. where I watched the end of the Buccaneers beat the Cowboys. Then I'm on the phone with a bunch of buddies, and yeah, let's just say I got no sleep. I'll just say this. The Dallas Cowboys should have won that game last night. They left points on the board. They were the better team for 4 quarters. They won the turnover battle. Dak Prescott looked great. That might have been his best performance of his career. He threw for over 400 yards, multiple touchdown passes. They left points on the board. The Buccaneers got lucky. They made plays late. They won the game. They go to 1-0. But it boggles the mind where, I said this yesterday where I'm like, the sexier stories if the Cowboys win the game. If the Bucs win, no one cares nationally. But something happened. The Cowboys played so well and only lost by 2 that it feels like they won the game. And people are going to get excited for the Cowboys and hype them like they're a contender and they'll win the NFC East. It's amazing. Only the Cowboys can lose a big primetime game, but people are excited for the Cowboys now. It's mind-boggling. And finally, I will say this, and it's pretty crazy to say, but I feel like Tom Brady with his 7 rings, he really is like Michael Jordan out there, where with 1:30 in the 4th quarter, the Cowboys hit a field goal to take the lead, and the TV pans right to Tom Brady's face, and everyone in the country is thinking the same thing, like, Cowboys made a terrible mistake. They gave too much time for Tom Brady. He went right down the field, got them in position, hits the field goal, they win. It's just like Jordan. Don't poke the bear. Don't mess with this guy. Don't give him a chance at the end to beat you, because he will beat you. It was awesome. Awesome game. I'm so happy. High school, college, and NFL is back. Football is back. And UCF's going to the Big 12. It's pretty awesome. It really, I love it. And I'll tell you, that schedule moving forward, That is going to be fun for football and basketball. All right, here's what we're going to do. Let's recap what happened last night there in Tampa as they raised a banner. Luke Easterling, he was there with the Bucs wire. We'll get to him. Then, end of the hour, we'll try to get to you that UCF press conference. Welcome to a Friday. Welcome to the Madhouse.
This is Jim